Hey. Hola and welcome to another video. As promised for my unboxing videos, today we're going to be doing a review with the Fnatic Streak RGB and the Flick 2 mouse. Let's get it going. First, let's talk about price. I found the Flick 2 and the Focus 2 for 30 bucks. On the other hand, I found the Streak keyboard for $48 and I found everything online. First things first, let's take a look at how awesome the keyboard looks. I wish I could say the same about the Focus 2, the mouse, but unfortunately it only has like 2 parts that it lights up, and I really don't like that. The only place that the Focus 2 has RGB is on the scroll wheel and on the side logo, but besides that, nowhere else. I would give it a 10 out of 10 if maybe the back logo also lit up, but it doesn't. It's just like gray paint. However, apart from the looks, the products are pretty good. I can't complain. This keyboard is identical to its little brother, the Mini Streak RGB. With that being said, everything I will be reviewing about the Streak, it also relates to the Mini. The only difference between the Mini and the full keyboard is that you get media keys on this side and then the memory keys, obviously. The Mini will not have this part. Some people like that. I wanted a full keyboard, so that's why I went for it. Also, with the keyboard, like I said in my unboxing, you also get the wrist strap. It feels good. Cushioning is there. It's not a lot, but it's pretty good. It gets the job done. One awesome feature about the wrist rest is that you can put it in 3 different places. So you can put it all the way on top. If you have like small hands, there's like a middle. Feels good. And then my favorite, it's all the way in the back because I got, big hands, so I like that part about the wrist rest. It's really nice and it feels good. This keyboard is really good. I was looking for a mechanical keyboard with some really good switches for gaming. When I was doing my research about what keyboard to get, all I found was all the good keyboards were mechanical and they all had MX Cherry switches. Luckily, this keyboard has cherry red, so I'm really excited about that. So far, I love this keyboard. One thing I noticed is that you don't have to press the key all the way down for the computer to know and register what key I'm pressing. I'm not gonna lie, it is a little bit noisy, but for me, I love that. I love how mechanical keyboards sound and the switches sound. Some people might not like that, but it's just a personal preference. And for me, I love how loud it is. One good thing about this keyboard, you can get it with cherry red, cherry blue, and then cherry brown. So if you just want a good typing experience, you can get the blue. Or if you're in between gaming and a good typing experience, you get the cherry brown. So that's really good. I went with the red. Like I said, I just wanted full-on gaming experience.
Okay, now let's talk a little bit about the Focus 2 and the Flick 2. So if you'll see this, it's a pretty low profile. It has very, very good grip on the back, and it's pretty durable fabric on the front, and it seems like if you get it dirty, it would be pretty easy to wipe up. You'll see that it is pretty good size, so you're not having to move your mouse around and get it back on the mouse pad if you're gaming or surfing the net. And then let's talk a little bit about the Flick 2. So you'll see this is what Piero was talking about with the RGB on the scroll wheel and the logo. Pretty good profile. It is pretty light, but it does feel pretty sturdy. A little bit about how we decided on picking the Fnatic Flick 2 was we were looking at one of the Razer mouses, and then we found this for a really good deal. It was under 30, and so it had really, really good reviews online, so we decided to choose this for gaming and just our everyday needs also. A little bit more specific about handling with it. I don't have super tiny hands, but it has a really, really good size to it, a good profile. The clicks feel really sturdy. It has a pretty sturdy scroll wheel. It also has the middle click and then the side clicks for the thumb. And also it has a really awesome look from the bottom, if you are interested in that. And again, it works pretty streamlined with the Fnatic mouse pad, and there is plenty of room whenever you're getting crazy gaming. You don't have to worry about running off the side, and if you do, it still does have a pretty low profile, so it's easy to come back up onto the mouse pad.
Another great feature about the keyboard and the mouse is that you don't actually need the software to change the profile. So like right now you press F, the function key, and then F7 for the keyboard to change what mode you want flashing on your keyboard, and then the arrow keys left and right are going to be the different modes, and then if you want different colors, you just go up and down. So that's really cool that you don't need the software to actually change, you know, how your keyboard looks, and that's a really cool feature, and that's definitely a plus if you're looking for a really cool keyboard. Now for the mouse, it's different. So the 3 lights on the side that are lighting up right now, that's the different profiles. So you hit the profile button to change. That's how you change your DPI, and then the scroll wheel to change the lighting mode. You hold the 2 side buttons and then the scroll wheel for like 5 seconds, and then after that the scroll wheel is gonna flash, and then that's how you change your modes. With the software, it's different. It's not hard, it's actually pretty easy to use. So you go on the keyboard, and then where it says wave, there's actually the different profiles. You just click on it, and then it's gonna, you know, show different modes. Like right now, you know, the pulse, fade, rain, it's actually pretty cool. And whatever's happening on the software, it's actually happening on the keyboard too. So that's really cool. And then you also have the different colors you can choose, you know, how fast you want it. So it's pretty self-explanatory. It's not that hard. Since it was my first gaming keyboard, I thought it was going to be hard. You know, I was a little bit nervous, but then after that, you know, after using it for like maybe 30 minutes, I got used to it, and it's super easy. You can also change your competitive mode. Like whenever you click the button, you can select, you know, what buttons you want to lit up and actually work. And then for the same thing for the Flick 2, it's the same thing. You know, on the right side you can pick your DPI. It goes up to 12,000 DPI, and then down as low as 100. And then same thing with the lighting modes. It's still, you know, self-explanatory, so it's not hard. It's really good, and that's really a plus, because I thought it was going to be hard. It was going to be hard, but it's not really, so yeah. So now, let's talk about some pros and some cons. Let's talk about some cons about the keyboard. One thing that I've noticed is depending what you're doing on your computer, like if you press the function and then the F7 key, it won't change the profile of the lighting. So maybe it's because I'm using a Mac right now and it's not working, but I don't have my gaming laptop set up right now. It'll probably work with Windows, but it usually doesn't work all the time. How bright I want it, it works all the time. All you gotta do is hold the function key, F8, and it works perfectly. Obviously, like I said just like a second ago, I'm using a Mac, so I had to kind of like find out what buttons are gonna be doing the same thing for, you know, Mac OS. So I know if I hold down like the Windows key and the tab, I can see the different windows I have open on my MacBook Pro. But that's only like a few cons. Let's talk about the pros now. There's actually a lot of good pros. Obviously, the first one is how good it looks, and the wrist rest is really good too. I've played some video games for like hours, and my wrist feels nice. Like, it doesn't really bother me. I don't get no cramps or anything like that, so that's really a plus. Besides that, the keys are really good too. They'll feel nice. They don't feel bad or flimsy, you know, like weak or anything like that. Let's see what else. And it's really good, like for gaming and typing. I just love typing and how loud it really gets. And that's pretty much it about the pros and cons about the keyboard. Now let's talk about some cons and pros about the mouse. The only con I really have for the mouse is just that this part, this logo, doesn't really light up. There's no lighting, there's no RGB like some other brands that do have lighting in the back logo, but this one doesn't really have it. That's the only con I can think about. Everything else is really good. The lighting on the mouse is really good. I really like how this logo lights up. It's really nice. And then the buttons on the side, they're really good. And then where you rest your thumb, it just feels nice. There's nothing like, it fits perfectly on my hand. And then the profile button here, it's in a nice place, easy to reach. The scroll wheel feels nice too. And then the clicks, they're just nice and sturdy. That's pretty much it about the pros and cons about the mouse. It's just simple, easy to use, and it's really good for gaming too. So spending time with the products and reviewing it, who is it for? Well, if you want a good keyboard and mouse, it's for you. If you want a keyboard that it has cool RGB and you can do micros and competitive button and the media and the numeric keys, it's actually for you. If you don't want that, like I said before, you actually get the mini Streak. So it's the same thing that I went over today in this video, but it's just that you don't get the numeric keys and the media buttons. About the Flick 2, the mouse, it's actually pretty good. Up to 12,000 DPI and down to 100. So that's really good. So if you want, if you want the different DPI on the go, you have the profile button right there. It's in a good place. The mouse feels good in the hand, and it also has RGB, but I wish it had more parts in the mouse that would light up, but it just doesn't. But overall, it's really good. And yeah, if you're looking for a good keyboard and mouse, I would really recommend this.